सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay, any questions or clarifications on what we have done up to now?
So, Swami, I did have a question.
Yeah.
Swami, towards the end of the last class,
Yeah.
you had mentioned about the fact that we have to get over the whole body-mind orientation. And one of the ways was through tapas.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other was sakshi, being sakshi.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question is that, Swamiji, at what point, as being the sakshi, would one get into dissociation versus being healthy about the whole thing? How do you discern?
Because when you're, it is not enough. That's why I put tapas into it. It is not enough to do only sakshi. Sakshi means I'm witnessing, I'm independent of everything. Whereas the reality is, the body and mind is dependent on me. I am independent of body and mind. So, witnessing has to be along with this idea. This idea has to be there in your mind, that this part is there. So, what happens very often is when we are witnessing, this body and mind is dependent on me goes away. Therefore, to back it up with tapas, where you are stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things which are difficult, in the process, learning that, hey, you don't have to listen to the body will listen to you. You don't have to listen to the mind will listen to you. So the fact that mind and body are dependent on you is an easier step to take. That's why the tapas part becomes important. Therefore, both together will work. If only Sakshi Bhava, you can end up with dissociation. And that's what many people get into also. You know. In the name of studying Vedanta, if you get into dissociation, then Sarvatma Bhava will never come. Because I am dissociated with everything. Then how can I say I am everything? That will never come. That's why mere Sakshi is not enough. See, the samurai warriors, Vajramushti warriors and all got it because the level of tapas was very high. Na? The discipline of steel was high. Because of that, they could do that. You know, that witnessing worked for them. Because all the training was about overcoming the limitation of body and mind. So that's where it worked. Any other questions? So the main block is here only, that I am the body, that body orientation becomes very, very strong. Comfort orientation, body orientation. The problem is there. So to use things for comfort is one thing, but to get dependent on that comfort is another thing. In fact, I remember one of my friends, his father's, this friend of mine, young, he decided to join the ashram. Okay. And in summer like this, he's sleeping. His father will come and off the fan. Forget AC, forget off the fan. This is why? You're going to be a sadhu, no? Learn to do without a fan. Let me see how you can do that. And the boy would do it. Huh? He would sleep. Yeah. I mean, whether he got sleep or not, at least he will not crib about it. Uday Acharya. So his father said, okay. Go with my blessings. Yeah. Because it's true. So, those things help. That's why you say spend some time in Rishikesh. Living in Rishikesh is a tapas. Winter is freezingly cold. Summer you can fry eggs on the rocks outside. Rainy season is flooded out. Except for winter, all other seasons are malarial. You are going to the kshetra for bhiksha. Both tapas ho gaye. Like some of the students said, Swamiji, we'll pay for it. Can we have some AC in the room? To Sakshaji. And Sakshaji was considering it. I went and blasted all of them. I said, we lived without electricity. Electricity would come and go. When Puja Swamiji stayed, there was no electrical connection. And you characters want AC, go. The Ganga is there. If you feel too hot, go and have a dip. Go and have a dip. Of course, they'd come for a 3-month course, not for a 3-year course. But still, if you're coming for a course in an ashram, follow the discipline. That will make you sure whether you are ready for 3 years or not. So the tapas part becomes a problem. That's why introductory books like, for example, Atma Bodha, the very first verse is Tapo Bhikshina Papanam. One whose papas are gone because of tapas. I'm talking of tapas, and then sometimes basic discipline is absent. Any other questions or clarification before we go ahead? Or it's all clear? Okay. Then, going further, he gives a very, very beautiful paribhasha here. Paribhasha is a rule of interpretation. Okay. That's the 31st verse. Okay. आदवन्ते यन्नास्ति वर्तमानेऽपि तत्तथा वैद्यत्य सदृशा सन्तः विदिता एव लक्ष्यता. आदौ अन्तौ यन्नास्ति, that became आदावन्तौ यन्नास्ति because of sandhi rules, etc. What is then not there in the beginning and end? Yannasti. Beginning was clay, pot was not there. Later on there will be only pieces. Pot will get broken. It's a pot meant to be broken. So it will be broken. So beginning pot was not there, ending pot is not there. So even when you see it, Vartamanepi, when it is you see it, tat tatha, it's as good as not being there. Adavanto yan nasti, Vartamanepi tat tatha. What is not there in the beginning and end, even later, even when you are seeing it, when it is not there. Take anything, any effect, it will be like this. Kurta. Beginning all there was cloth. Later on when this gets shredded out, all that will be there is cloth. So when the kurta is there, what is there? Kurta is not really there. It's the only cloth is there. Vitita eva, he says, Vitita sadrishaha santaha. It's mithya, not real. It is not real. The effect that you are seeing, the pot that you are seeing, the kurta that you are seeing is not real. But vitita eva lakshita, it appears as though it is real. It is not real, but it appears as though it's real. Why does it appear as real? Two reasons. One, it is based on the reality, clay, cloth, based on the reality, number one. Number two, it appears even more as real because your attention is on functioning. What are you going to do with clay? No, I want to carry water. Then you need a pot. So since your attention is on functioning, you take the form as a reality. Akshay Tritiya, people go out to buy gold. What do they end up buying? Going to buy gold, you must buy a chunk of gold and come. At the most a biscuit. But you always buy ornaments. Yeah. Anyway, the Prime Minister has made a great request. For 1 year, do not buy gold. You will save up forex. Up to now, the import bill for gold has been 36 billion US dollars in this year. Can you imagine the amount of gold we are in? We don't not producing enough for our demand, and the oil rates are going up. So until that come down, don't buy gold. Let that forex we use for buying oil. Otherwise, you will crib. Oil prices are going up. Electricity is not available. Power generation is not happening. This is sensible. And it's not that only this Prime Minister has made it. This appeal has been made half a dozen times in the past. Right from Indira Gandhi onwards, people have made such appeal. So, Vartamane epi tattata. Beginning there was no bangle, there was only a chunk of gold. Later on the bangle is melted down. No bangle. So when you are seeing the bangle, what are you seeing? Gold. Though the bangle appears real. It is not real. It appears as real. So this becomes that rule of interpretation. What is not there in the beginning and end, even when it exists, it is not there. Any questions on this, or this idea is clear? Okay. Now, the famous argument for reality, it is useful. Okay. It is useful. So everything useful need not be real. So he is handling that argument in the next verse. Saprayojanatam tesham swapne vipratipadyate tasmad adav antena mithyaiva khalute smruta. Because why do you bring in this usefulness argument?
Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think you missed the one verse. We missed verse 31, I think.
Huh? Which verse?
Or I missed it.
Verse 31.
Verse 31, 3:1. Although Anteje.
That is the what I just explained.
Or I missed it out.
That's the verse I just explained. That's the rule of interpretation.
It just covered.
Yeah.
You took it along with the other earlier one. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So now the usefulness argument. Okay. Why do you say the snake on the rope is not real, whereas the rope is real? Generally, because the snake disappears. The snake is not useful. You can't draw venom from it. Whereas a rope is useful, especially when things go wrong. It is useful. So rope is useful. Therefore, usefulness proves reality. It's one argument. He says, no. Why? He says, saprayojanatam tesham swapne vipratipadyate. The usefulness is contradicted in dream. In dream, all that you see in waking is contradicted. No? Anything that you find useful in waking, in dream is it useful? This guy had a proper sadhya feast. Okay? Proper South Indian sadhya on that plantain leaf. After that, you are fit for nothing but keeling over and going to sleep. Okay? So you're only. One second. Something wrong with the. What's wrong? It's fine. Why is it dropping off? So more that connection is dropped off. Okay. So, as I was saying, this,
You're muted,
This-
Swamiji.
as I was saying, the sadhya, okay, you had the huge feast, okay, you literally hogged, stomach is full, then you decided to catch an afternoon nap because you've eaten so much. Sensible option because you can't do anything else anyway. So you slept and you dreamt that you're starving and you're not eaten for 3 days. What is the use of that stomach full of food in dream? So the usefulness is only in the waking state. No? You're going on a desert trek, Thar desert trek. Great fun to do it. I've done it once. Thar desert trek. Okay. And you slept. Because the desert trek also you have to sleep sometime. You slept. And you dreamt that you have a nice huge house with a swimming pool and things like that. Underground water tank is there, overhead water tank is there, swimming pool is there, all water. Olympic size swimming pool at home. Then you woke up. What is the use of that water in waking? So, this is where it is. Everything, Swakale Satyavad Bhati. At its own time, it appears real. Prabhode Sati Asad Bhave. When you wake up, it's all unreal. There is the whole thing. Where is the reality is contradicted in another state. In this state, it is useful, that's all. Therefore, the argument of usefulness is not valid. But Swamiji, waking state is real, no? We have seen there right in the first chapter, no? That the waking state is also unreal. We saw it Shastra based in the first chapter, logic based in the second chapter.
Good.
What is the main logic used second chapter में याद है?
यद दृश्यम तत् मिथ्या.
यद दृश्यम तत् मिथ्या दृश्यत्वात् यथा स्वप्नम. Oh, people remember it. क्या भूल गए? Okay. So there is where the whole argument is. Therefore, prayojanata cannot be, usefulness cannot be an argument for reality. In fact, I'll go to the other extreme. I'll say whatever useful is also mithya. This is called Praudavada, okay? You are taking the battle into the opposite camp. Whatever is useful is mithya. Yatha kurta, yatha gataha. Correct or not? Gata is mithya, we have seen that. Kurta is mithya, we have seen that. They are both useful. Therefore, wherever there is usefulness, there is mithyatvam. Can you contradict that with one example? Show me one thing which is useful but not mithya. Not contradictory. Samjhe, but useless things are also mithya. So I didn't say useless things are not mithya. That is given.
Usefulness is about the function of time and space.
Function of what?
Usefulness, time and space. What is useful in one time cannot be useful in another time and space. Like, or avastha. What is useful in Jagrat cannot be useful in Swapna.
Correct. That's exactly what I said right now. Huh? That's
Right.
exactly what I was explaining. That usefulness is only to that state, not to any other state. The Swakale Satyavad Bhati. In its own time, it appears as though it is real. We are never saying it is real. It says it appears as though it is real. That's why I said the dream water is not useful in the waking. The waking food is not useful in the dream. Yeah. Therefore, usefulness is limited to that state. And Atma is there across all the three states. In and through all the three states. So Atma is avyavaharyam. Does that mean useless? What is Atma useful for? Bolo? Kuch useful hai? Can't do anything with it. Heyo padeya varjitam. Can't pick it up, can't drop it. कुछ कर सकते हैं आत्मा से? Therefore it's useless. No? Give me an argument against it. थोड़ा कभी कोई I have to ask you all also to see something. भाई सुन के जाएगा सब जन सोचेगा नहीं. आत्मा मिथ्या अव्यवहार्यत्वात्. Then what will you say? यथा रज्जु सर्पः. एग्जाम्पल भी दे दिया. Perfect logical straight. Contradicted.
It is the very reality on which any utility is possible.
Yeah, correct. I agree. So how will you then explain avyavaharyam? I am equating it with uselessness. Yeah. I am saying Atma is avyavaharyam, useless. Not available to do anything with it. If nothing can be done with it, it's useless only, no?
But in this case, we are mixing two orders of reality.
Doesn't matter. Let us take that order of reality. Like how this order of reality is unreal, that is also unreal.
Knowledge of Atma makes you not strive for anything and do things. Because you know that you have the Purnatvam and then you have the fulfillment. You understand.
So you are saying Atma is useful.
Yes.
Then you are saying Atma is useful, correct?
Yes.
If Atma is useful, it is mithya anyway. Yatha kurta.
No. It is not useful in the term terms of that, it gives you it shows that you are Purna, so that you don't have to do anything else.
Therefore, either you have to say it's useful or you have to say it's useless. What is it? What are you saying?
So it's beyond characteristics.
Beyond?
Characteristics.
Nicely said. It is beyond being useful or not useful. It is a base for useful and useless things. Both. It is a base for, it is the adhishtanam, not the adharam. It is the adhishtanam for all useful and useless things.
Without which you can't.
Everything.
Yeah, that is one thing. Number two, all useful and useless things both are bhaditam. Atma is abhaditam. Therefore, satyam. There are more arguments also, think about it. Okay? I am giving you two fundamental arguments. As adhishtanam for both useful and useless things. Therefore, it goes beyond that paradigm of useful and uselessness. Number one. Number two, useful, useless, both are bhaditam. Why? They come under time and space. Atma is abhaditam. It can't be negated. Therefore, satyam, not mithya. Third argument? Come on, give one more argument. I am just saying all this right now. I didn't say, oh, this verse has to be done. I have to think of it like that. I was traveling today. Atma Swarupatvat Nitya. Atma Swarupatvat. It is abhaditam because Atma Swarupa. Useful or useless is with respect to me. And Atma is the Swarupa of me. Therefore, usefulness, uselessness doesn't come into the picture. Because useful, useless is for my sake. No? I have to decide what is useful, useless. What is useful for me, you may be useless for me. What is useless for me may be useless for you. Therefore, it is a person's viewpoint. And the Swarupa of the person is the Atma. Therefore, how can you apply terms like useful, useless to the Atma? Okay. Drishteha Swarupatvat. Kartritva Swarupatvat. The Swarupa of the Karta. Useful, useless is with respect to the Karta. Karta itself is Mithya. And the Atma is the Swarupa of the Karta. Now you see why it is important not to put the Atma beyond in Timbuktu. All these arguments are not possible if you put the Atma in Timbuktu. Beyond everything. It is the Swarupa of the Karta. Karta Bhokta is not the Atma, agreed. But the Swarupa of the Karta Bhokta is the Atma. Karta Bhokta is superimposed on the Atma. So where do you find the Atma? Where the superimposition is. Where do you find the rope? Where the snake is. Not beyond, somewhere else in your garage. Those who are attending the Brahma Sutra classes, Panchakhyati, it will become Anyata Khyati then. It won't become Mithya. It will become Anyata Khyati. So putting Atma is beyond will give into Anyata Khyati, not into Anirvachaniya Khyati. That's a sidelight meant for those who are attending the Brahma Sutra class. Okay. You all will come there. After this text, I will do the Vedanta Sara and Brahma Sutras. Okay. So there is where the whole thing is. It is free from the argument of usefulness and uselessness. Okay. Therefore, what is useful, what is useless, both are mithya. Though here he is only negating the useful argument. Because that's the argument that is used. Now, little bit to remind you all, okay, in his compassion, he is revisiting some of the arguments from the second chapter. He is revisiting some of the arguments. Well, भूल गया रहेगा. So he is revisiting them. Must have forgotten it. Okay. सर्वे धर्माः मृषा स्वप्ने कार्यस्य अंतर्निर्दशनात् संवृते अस्मिन् प्रदेशे वै भूतानां दर्शनं कुतः. He says everything that you see in dream, सर्वे धर्माः मृषा स्वप्ने स्वप्ने स्थाने सर्वं मृषा. मृषा meaning मिथ्या. Why? Kayasya antarnirdeshana. The mind is within this body for the time being, and you are seeing all this in your dream. Where is the space for all that? Yeah, your body is in the bedroom, 10 by 10 modern bedrooms, and there you are dreaming a huge 5,000 square feet bungalow. किधर से आएगा? 100 square feet bedroom you are in, your body is then, yeah. And in that also your body is occupying out of that 100 square feet how much? Maximum 6 by 3, 18 feet. 18 square feet. And you're dreaming of a 5,000 square feet bungalow. कैसा fit होएगा उधर? Can't fit. Therefore Mrushaha says, Samvriteshman Pradeshe Vai Bhutanam Darshanam Kuta. So how can it really be seen in such a small place? In such a small space, how can a real bungalow can be seen? You cannot see a real bungalow. Therefore, whatever you are seeing is unreal. Whatever you are seeing is unreal. That's the argument which he had given in the second chapter. He is revisiting that here. Okay. Another argument. Your dream is not really a dream. It is astral travel. If you have read books like Lobsang, Rampa and Tibetan stories, you actually go to that place and dream. If you dreamt of Gomukh in your dream, you actually went there. Your Sukshma Sharira went there and then came back. Okay. That argument is being negated here. न युक्तं दर्शनं गत्वा कालस्य अनियमात् गतौ प्रवर्तबुद्धश्च सर्वः तस्मिन् देशे न विद्यते. न युक्तं गत्वा दर्शनम. It is not proper to say you have gone there and seen it. Why? Kalasya aniyamat gato. Not enough time to travel up to that place. Time nahi hai. You are dreaming only for 25 seconds. Where is the time to go there and come back? Not only that, no, mind is fast, it can go. Then, pratibuddhascha sarva tasmin deshena vidyate. You suddenly wake up. You went to Gomukh and you had a dip in the water and the cold, and so suddenly you woke up. Where would you be standing? You should be seeing the water of the Ganga and Gomukh, no? But you are not seeing there. You are seeing your bed, your bedroom, and you are sitting away. It's hot summer. Fan is not enough. So, where is it? All mind projection only. Therefore, travel, this, that, etc. Kahani ke liye अच्छा है. Lobsang Rampa, the cave of the secrets and all that. Good stories to read. I don't know how many of you have read Lobsang Rampa. Our time it was very popular. Yeah. He claims to be a Tibetan monk, and believe me, he has not left England. He says the Tibetan monk body came into me. Yeah.
Wasn't he an English plumber or something?
Yeah, he's an Englishman.
I read him years back.
Therefore, all these type of arguments, not valid. He had covered it in the second chapter. He is reminding you of them here. He goes, the same argument is being continued. No, you went there in your Sukshma Sharira. And when you are woken up, because the physical body is waking up, the Sukshma Sharira quickly came back to the physical body, where the physical body is. That is possible, no? Okay. That also I'll answer. He says what? Mithya dehi sahasan mantran sambuddha na prapadyati grihitam chapi yat kinchit pratibuddha na pashyati. All right. I went there. I spoke to my friends there. Okay. At Gangotri, I know this guide. He always comes with my group when we go to Gomukh. Because you can't follow the river all the time. Sometimes you have to go off from the river. And you can get lost. So far. Then, Mitra Dehi San Mantraya. You have chatted with them, you have to them, you have cribbed about how long the road is taking. All that you have done. But he says, Sambuddha na prapadyati. When you wake up, hey, did we not meet in Gomukh yesterday? What are you talking about? I was fast asleep. He doesn't confirm. If you had gone there, your Sukshma Sharira had gone there, and that guy's Sukshma Sharira also came there, and both of you talked, he must also confirm it, no? But only you dreamt, he did not dream. Or he had some other dream. You say, hey, I was not in Gomukh. I was in Greece. Or I was in heaven, I had met some Apsara there. He doesn't confirm you. It means what? No actual travel happened. It is just what is inside you seeing. Grihitam chapi yat kinchit pratibuddha na pashyati. Let us say you brought back Ganga Jal from Gomukh. Okay. When you waking up, Ganga Jal kuch hai? Dream में लेके आया, dream में छोड़ दिया. So he says all these arguments prove asatyam of the truth. There is no travel, there is no nothing, there is no astral travel, and that forget it. But Swamiji, we hear Shankara went to know. Go and ask Shankara. That type of travel is different. That is not the travel that everyone is doing in dream. Okay. That requires a great degree of mastery and things like that. You want to know the exercise for it? I know the exercise for it. I can show you. But don't ask me how long it will take. I am not going to practice that. I have studied a bit of that, so just to know what it is.
What is it?
There are some practices for your leaving the body and going and all that thing. High practice. 20 years, 3 hours every day, who is going to spend on that? So I want to go somewhere, I'll go and see and come back. Okay. So, Shankara may have done it. Somebody, some Rishi may have done it. Fine. But you and I are not doing it in dream. That's all he means. Whether he is not questioning whether such a thing exists or not. Let us say it exists. Is it Satyam or Mithya? It is a Siddhi, na? Achieved by tapas. It has to be Mithya only, na? It cannot be Satyam. It's not Baditam. It is Baditam, it's not Abaditam. Therefore, it's equally Mithya. Okay. Okay, right. Okay. Then he goes further, one more argument. Okay. Am I going too fast for you? It's okay, somebody has commented it's experiential. True, dream is experiential. Now look at it. We are dismissing our worldly experience as unreal. Therefore, how can the dream experiences be real? And this problem comes up partly because the amount of attention experience is given today. Experience is everything. You know, our generation, when we are buying a house, we are looking at practicality, space kitna hai, is space based on the balcony or is it included into the room so that we have more space, or it can be converted to another room. We are practical people. Now, the experience of living in this place, the facilities available. Square feet kitna bolo pehla. Samjhe, there are 40 amenities here. Have you ever seen a swimming pool in a gated community? How many people use it? There is one gated community here. There are 400 flats. But at no time I have seen more than 3 or 4 people in the pool. Your thing also is the same, isn't it? 3-4 people will be there in the pool. So what is your experience? What experience? You are not using it. टाइम किधर है? काम करने के, फिर घर संभालने का टाइम नहीं, अभी उधर जाएगा. It's a full-fledged gym. You paid for all that. How much are you using? It's a good thing. You use it. If you're using it, it's a good thing. But how many people use it? Then why are you forking out so much of money if you're not planning to use it? Because you have been sold on that experience. Because the experience becomes such a big thing. Then the next step is experience is real, shows reality. That's the next step. It's slipped in subconsciously. Because after all, experience teaches. Experience doesn't teach. Analysis of the experience teach. You remember my example, no? The padri talking about the worm in whiskey, it dies. Another worm in the water is swimming around happily. What is the learning from this? Father, if you drink whiskey, you will not have any worms in the stomach. On the basis of what that padri demonstrated, can you say he's wrong? Now, whether that is true or not, you need another experimental verification, not this experience. From this experience, this is one of the lessons you can draw. Unless you are analyzing and showing. See, this is like you are trying to draw logic from an experience. Whereas the experience is meant to illustrate a logic. That means the logic has to be given first. What is that? Whiskey is harmful for your cells. It makes the cells die off. You give the logic, how it dies off, etc. Then you demonstrate it, people will understand. Otherwise, it will become like this. Drink whiskey, there is no germs in your, no worms in your stomach. So, experience doesn't teach. Experience doesn't make your mind go unless you learn about it. You analyze it and understand certain things. Then it can show some things. People can go to Gomukh and come back. It's a great experience. You can learn a lot of things. But I have seen people, there is a student who came all the time, all she was doing was scribbling about it. Finally I had to tell her, just shut up. Okay? We don't want to hear your cribbing. But certain things are uncomfortable. That's the whole idea of a yatra. You learn to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. All this I explained before we started on the trip. If you had explained before, then that can be a learning experience. Why? Because already certain things have been mentioned. The structure of learning has already been given. That's why even Pariksha Lokan that they said in Mandukya will work only for an intelligent being who is willing to examine it. Mandukya talks about Pariksha Lokan having examined the world. not having experienced the world. Not anubhuya lokan, pariksha lokan. Paritaha ikshitam. He looked at it from all sides. Not anubhuya. If it is mere anubhuya lokan, you will be like this. One of my Guru Ben's younger sister. She said, hey, you're nearing 60 now. Isn't it time you got involved in Vedanta and things like that? No. I want to experience, I want to be reborn 2-3 times, my lifetimes more, and enjoy the world before I come to Vedanta. No discernment. Can't blame her. Why? Nobody has talked to her about it. She has not exposed him. Not talked. Didn't bother what her sister was doing. Pagalpan hai, kya karne de kya? Because I know that kid since he was 3-year-old or something, 3-4-year-old. I know her. Sukhajeevi. She enjoyed the good things in life. As a kid, she was very intelligent. But that's how it is. There is anubhuya loka. You have not examined it. You only experienced it. It's the analysis of experience that teaches you. Anyway, so there it is. Now, the body that you see in the dream, he comes to that part of it also. Okay. Swapne cha vastuka kaya pratyegyasya darshana yatha kaya tata sarvam chidrishyam avastukam. The dream, you have a body, a dream body. Not really. You'll imagine all your imperfections of the working world there also. Okay. At least in the dream body you could be your ideal weight, height, etc. But you won't. You'll dream like this only. Exact replica of your body here. Avastukaha. It is not real. Why? Another body you see lying down there. Okay, another tangible body is seen lying down there, whereas the body that you are seeing in the dream is not tangible in the waking. Okay, pratag anyasya darshanat yata kaya tata sarvam. Like the dream body is not real, everything in the dream is not real. He says sarvam avastukam. Why? Chidrashyam. It is only projected by the mind. It is what we call, this you can take it literally as drishti srishti. Drishti eva srishti. Seeing it is creating it. You created the dream world just by seeing it, just by thinking of it. Srishti drishti is always mithya. We are talking about srishti drishti as mithya. Then what about drishti srishti? That's more mithya. Srishtasya drishti is srishta drishti, the world, vyavaharika. What is created by the Lord, you are seeing it. That itself we are proving it as mithya. This is what drishti srishti. You saw it, therefore it is there. There will be even more mithya. That is why in the order of reality we will call that pratibhasikam and this is vyavaharikam. Pratibhasikam is purely subjective, whereas vyavaharikam has got some sort of objectivity. Some sort. At least everyone will agree this is a laptop. Utna to hai agreement. Vyavaharikam. Someone says, Swamiji, this is old. It has to be upgraded. From that certain standpoint, correct it. Pratibhasikam. Why? Because from my standpoint, I use it only for a class. I don't need high level performance from my laptop. Good enough. I don't have to update it, upgrade it. Vyavaharikam. So even in Vyavaharikam, perceptions come into the picture, isn't it? Subjectivity. So Pratibhasikam and Vyavaharikam are not always watertight compartments, okay? In Vyavaharikam there is Pratibhasikam. Why? Because the Pratibhasikam depends on Vyavaharikam. The thing has to be there for you to be subjective about it. And the Vyavaharikam depends upon what? What does the Vyavaharikam depend upon?
Paramarthikam.
On the Paramarthikam, on the absolute. Because if the absolute reality was not, what are you going to talk about objective reality? So the reality is neither subjective nor objective. It is a basis for both of it. Otherwise you will be like the study group leader who went abroad. I am talking about the 70s, early 70s. And he came back. So in our study group, he was asked to say a few words, a few things, share a few of his experience of going abroad and talking Vedanta also. He said, they asked me when I went there to a university. My son was studying there. I went to the university. I visited their philosophical department. They asked me, is the truth subjective or objective? And because I was attending the study groups, I could tell them that the truth is subjective. I said, I had not yet joined the ashram that time. Okay, I was planning to join. I said, Narayana, idhar hi khatam kar diya. The whole image of India is destroyed. The whole image of Vedanta is destroyed. Why? Subjective means pratibhasikam, dreams. Is only that valid. Or I like Baingan, you like okra. Subjective. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Subjective reality. The reality is the basis for both the subjective and the objective. It is about the subject, but it's not subjective. He mistook that. Because about the subject, he thought it was subjective. 20 years study group sevak. क्या आप सिखाता था, क्या सिखाया खुदा जाने. All such champions are there. क्या करूं? Poor guy is no more. That's why I'm not mentioning his name. No. That generation is gone. He was a lawyer and things like that, but he's gone. Why I'm saying lawyer or something, because many of the people whom I knew at that time and who were in study groups are thinking about a particular person. That also I can make out. Their subjectivity. So I'm negating that by saying, no, this was a lawyer, because that person was not a lawyer. टीचिंग में सब देखना पड़ता है ना. क्या करूं? Possible conclusions, if they are wrong, has to be negated. So the possibility of those conclusions, which are subjective, has to be appreciated and negated. Why? Because the pratibhasikam, vyavaharikam, paramarthikam all appears mixed up. It is not mixed up. Vyavaharikam, the paramarthikam is untouched by vyavaharikam and pratibhasikam, but appears to be touched. Why? There is a superimposition. There is an adhyasa. There is a mistaken notion. But both pratibhasikam and vyavaharikam are pure mithya. Satyam is only paramarthikam. Vyavaharikam and pratibhasikam both are mithya. The difficulty in taking vyavaharikam as mithya is handled here by saying dream, making it equivalent to dream, all that thing. That's the beauty of Mandukya Upanishad. Which rams home that point, that your vyavaharikam is as valid only as pratibhasikam. इतना ही है. So that is the beauty of it, and that's what we have to appreciate it. It's functional, ठीक है. So there is some functional validity. So when I say I start the class at 7 o'clock, more or less everyone is here at 7 o'clock. थोड़ा इधर उधर होता है, that's it. Why? Because there are a lot of demands on you, on your time. It's okay, understandable, but more or less. So why vyavaharikam? That's all it is useful for. Nothing more than that. Clear up to now? Okay. Yeah.
Swamiji, when we say that this is because of Adhyasa, we use Adhyasa, but Adhyasa itself is not real, right?
Adhyasa means unreal. We are not saying it is because of Adhyasa, we are saying it is Adhyasa. Adhyasa is not the cause, Adhyasa is the effect. Everything that you see is an Adhyasa, superimposition. If the cause you want to see is avidya, ignorance of the reality, because of which you take the Adhyasa as real.
Okay.
Yeah. So ignorance is the cause.
Ignorance.
Yeah.
Adhyasa is the
Both
effect.
Pratibhasikam and Vyavaharikam, both are Adhyasa, mistaken notions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But in
Adhyasa
some
is the
ways-
effect.
But in some ways,
Adhyasa is the effect.
Adhyasa is the effect, yes, yes.
Okay.
You saying?
no, I'm saying this Vyavaharikam and the other one,
Pratibhasikam.
Pratibhasikam. When you experience those, aren't you also? That's the only proof that the reality exists, right?
No, the reality exists is proved by you saying I am. And what is the nature of the reality? The Shastra comes into the picture. So the fact I am is the proof of the reality. Okay, if at all it requires a proof. And the nature of the reality is revealed by the Shastra. The very fact that you objectify Pratibhasikam and Vyavaharikam shows it is unreal. That's where the whole thing goes on. Think it over, good place to stop. Okay, we've done a few verses today because they were revision from the second chapter, most of them. But good place to stop. So, Om Tat Sat.